All New York City restaurants will soon require proof of vaccination for entry. The mandate by Mayor de Blasio is the latest step to encourage New Yorkers to get the vaccine against COVID-19.
Here to talk about what it means for restaurants, bars, clubs, Andrew Rigie, Executive Director of the New York City Hospitality Alliance. Nice to see you again, Andrew.
You too. Unfortunate circumstances, though.
Well, I think, indoor dining up for grabs again. Restaurants concerned that, is this a way to kind of hold off closing all the restaurants again?
Yeah, I mean, that's been the really difficult decision, frankly. I've heard from a lot of restaurateurs that are happy about this requirement, others that are really angry, and same thing from customers and workers. I mean, the one thing we know is we cannot go back to reduced occupancy and shutdown orders. So if this step of a vaccination requirement helps stop that, that's good. But no doubt, this is going to pose some real challenges for our local restaurants and bars.
So we're going to talk about the challenges in a second, but I wanted to ask you, so the mandate is this: to enter a restaurant, you need to be vaccinated. No ifs, ands, or buts, right?
Correct.
But the city and their employees, they don't have to do that. But private businesses have to do that.
Yeah, and this is the thing. We really need, obviously, to condition the public to know what the expectations are. So, I think there are a lot of people that are frustrated that this, again, just applies to restaurants and some other, sectors of the economy, but doesn't apply to going into a city building, for instance. So, listen, I don't know if there's going to be future regulations. What I just know is that restaurants have a long road to recovery. We're on a positive path. People have a lot of different passion, perspectives, and views about this mandate, whether it's good, whether it's bad. But what we need is to ensure that as the city develops the specific guidelines and requirements over the coming weeks, that it is clear, that it is fair as possible, so restaurant people know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and also what customers can expect.
So wait, so I know this applies to the customers, but does this mean that also all employees must be vaccinated within the restaurant?
So that's what it appears. I think that there's going to be some policy decisions made over the coming weeks before this is fully implemented. So that goes back to the point I made that we really need to get into the details of how this is all going to work from an employee perspective, because restaurants right now are having such a difficult time even fully staffing restaurants. So this certainly will pose additional challenges. But hopefully these challenges will be lesser than the challenges that would be posed if we had to see more reduced occupancy or forbid another shutdown order.
Andrew, for those employees, are they going to be having paid time off if they are forced to get the vaccine?
Yeah, so in New York City, all employees, they get paid sick leave, and there was also another law that was passed requiring employers to give employees paid time off to go and get the vaccine.
Now, I know you expressed your support for this on Twitter, but what about the private businesses that disagree with you? Essentially, you're saying that you should be able to force them to say no to customers, to force them to cut their bottom line, just so that other people can get vaccinated. How do you deal with that? The responses.
Listen, this has been excruciating. I mean, we've been speaking with restaurant and bar people all throughout the city, and everyone is pretty much split on this issue. But at the end of the day, what I'm telling people, I've had this conversation yesterday with a bunch of folks, is, would you prefer to have to do this right now, or would you prefer in a couple of weeks or a month to come back and say, okay, we're going to reduce occupancy, we're going to get shut down, or we're going to have to go back to those real dark days when every single day.
And nobody wants to go back to that. But why are those the only options? Why not make it, up to the restaurants to decide what they want to do, whether they want to allow only vaccinated people in or not?
Well, listen, it's not my decision making this mandate or not. I'm not the mayor. This is the mayor's decision. What I'm saying is that from an industry perspective, we can't go back to that. And having this type of limitation based on the countless restaurant people we spoke with thought that this was better. The other concern that comes up is in the worst case scenario, there is another variant that is vaccine resistant, and that really forces all the people that were vaccinated to be even a more difficult position, and businesses to have to deal with this situation.
Right.
I mean, it's a horrible situation. It's an impossible situation. I get it. I mean, all I've been doing is speaking with people. But, you know, this is what the situation is right now. This is the mayor's decision. It's implemented. And now we need to make sure as an industry that we're able to give restaurateurs and workers the correct information and reduce the burdens as possible.
Well,
and that's what we want to do.
The other problem is this, enforcement. How is the city going to enforce this? What happens now with the restaurants? They have to check to see if they're counterfeit, not counterfeit. If the kids are under 12 years old, you now become a bouncer outside the restaurant. And then is the city going to do, like, you know, spot inspections?
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll have to see what the city is going to do. What they have said is that this is to try to encourage more people to get vaccinated. Listen, restaurants have been dealing with this crazy stuff, and unfortunately, workers have been on the front line dealing with very difficult situations throughout the past 16 months. As you know, no one got into this business to be COVID enforcers. They wanted to cook good food, make drinks, provide great hospitality, and that's it. But they've been thrust into the public health and culture wars and all these challenging decisions. So, you know, when people go into restaurants, they're going to have to, you know, show a vaccine card or one of these passports before going in. Maybe there'll be an option to submit it if you're making a reservation. But we need protection for restaurants. So if someone is showing a, you know, bogus vaccine card or is doing something to kind of sneak through the system, we cannot hold restaurants accountable for other people in violation of what these rules are. And that's what we need to make sure, like I said before, that restaurants have as clear guidance as possible, and they're not going to be held liable for other screwy behavior of other people, regardless of what you think about this.
Good move. All right, Andrew Rigie, always great to talk to you, Executive Director of the New York City Hospitality Alliance. We appreciate it.
Thank you.